Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our grade 4 coding class today, July. Ooh, look at that. That one didn't change on my side. 20 July 2020. And it is variables with artist. So I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend and a wonderful day so far. And that, that we continue putting in everything into our learning while we're stuck at home with COVID and we can't see our friends and we can't really go to school and can't get into a routine, that the time we spend at home and logging into these online classes, that we use the opportunity to further ourselves and learn more. And I'm preaching, like I said, I'm preaching to the choir because you guys are here, you guys are committed, come back every day, and we have so much fun together. So I hope that today we will have just as much fun as always. And our topic for today will be variables, and we're going to do that with artist. And we know our artist pretty well. We've had some puzzles with him before. And I just want to introduce myself as well to those of you joining us on YouTube or any new students in class that don't know me yet. My name is Mike Geldenes. And guys, let's quickly look at our objectives for today. Our objectives would be to assign values to existing variables, okay, and also to utilize variables in place of repetitive values inside of a program. So those are our objectives. And right now, it might not sound like much, but you're going to see they do come in quite handy. So, and then we have to ask ourselves, what is a variable? So then we will quickly look at our vocabulary. Okay, let's quickly, before we go look at the vocabulary, the purpose of this is this stage teaches the most basic use of variables as a constant that reoccurs frequently in a program. Okay, so there are two words that came up that I'm just quickly want to check with you guys in our vocabulary. And that the first one is a variable. What is a variable? Okay, a variable is a label of a piece of information used in a program. So you guys will see once we get there what it will look like. We will set certain values to a piece of information that we can easily recall and just drag into our code. And then the other word we heard while we read through the purpose was a constant. Now, a constant is a variable used throughout a program that never changes value. Okay, meaning constant, it never changes. It always stays the same. But the word variable means it can change. So sometimes we can assign a value that never changes. That is what we're going to focus on today. So that's the very basic part of variables. Just assigning or setting a value that we can recall over and over. But then as we go through our coding journey, we will see that we can change our variable, or a variable will change. For example, if we think about our age, if we write a code, happy birthday to my brother, and today he will be 10 years old. Next year, when I run the program, he will be 11 years old. So that code that that is a variable, and that is going to change. Every year it's going to change. So you will be able to write variables that will change every time you run the program, or if you put certain rules in place. Okay, so let's quickly look at what it will look like today. So this is our toolbox. And now you will see in our toolbox, there's something a little different, something we haven't seen before. Okay, and these are our little puzzle pieces. You'll see the little puzzle pieces. Notice that blocks now have a new way to enter numbers. Normally, we just typed it in as a text. We just type it in. Now the reason why it's like this, you will see the number down here, just 50. We can assign a value to a block. And we don't have to type it out. We can just drag it in because we will set values. Okay, so these math blocks can be pulled out and moved around. So you will see we'll pull it in and we'll move it around. Okay, so here also we'll just select an action you'd like to perform and set the available and see what is the available options. Okay, so guys, what I want us to do, this is what we're going to look at, this is what it's going to look like today. So let's quickly just, this is our new block, and now here we can set, we can name that variable anything we want. So for example, the first thing that we're going to do today is we are going to work with drawing lines at a certain length. Okay, so this, for example, we will then change, we will name this set length to, and then we will assign a value to how long we want certain lines. Okay, and then we know, okay, well, every time we use length, it is going to refer back to the value we assigned to it. So variables are placeholders for information that can change. Having a placeholder makes it possible to write a program even when you won't know all the values until later. Okay, so then because we can take this off the little puzzle piece, even if we say this is length, and right now we make it 50 or 100, we can easily just take it off and add new values to it. Okay, so that is just something new that we're going to practice with today. And here's an example. We'll see we've already named this length, our variable block, set length to 50. Now, this doesn't affect your code at all. This is remember, like if we selected a color for a specific line, we add that in at the start of our code so that every time we draw a line, it refers back to the color and it makes the line that specific color, unless we change it somewhere else in our code. Now, this will be the same. Every time we use the length puzzle block, here we can see it, we drag it in, it will refer back to the value we set on top. So the value for the line is 50. So code will refer back to the length variable to determine how far or how long a movement or line should be. And then just remember, even though today we are only going to focus on constants where this value doesn't change at all, you can set any number of variables. You can set as many as you want, okay? And another thing to remember is when you use variables as a constant, you are setting a value one time, then using the same value multiple times in your program without changing it after you click run. But we have to remember, variables do change inside a program. And like I gave you guys the example of age, every year you want the age to be +1. So then that you would write into your variable, and your value will then change every year. Although today we are only going to focus on constants, a number that doesn't change. So if we set the length to 50, every time we use it, it will remain 50. It won't change. Okay, so that's the difference between a constant, even though a constant is a constant variable, something that we can change later on. Okay, so I hope you guys understand that, but I'm sure when we run through our puzzles on code.org, this will give you guys some more clarity on that. Okay, so if you guys give me a few seconds, I want to go over to code.org, and then as soon as I'm there, I will share the link with you. And then once you guys are in, just let me know I'm in and I'm ready. So guys, hold on for me, and I'm going to change my screen, and then as soon as I'm there, I'll share the link with you guys. Okay, so new share, there we go. Okay, there I am. Now I can copy the link for you guys. Okay, there we go, guys. Puzzle number 1. As soon as you guys are in, then let me know I'm in, I'm here. I'm going to give you guys a minute or so. And I can see Miracle wants me to hold on. Don't worry, Miracle, we're not going to go anywhere. I want you guys, Taryn is in already. I'll give everybody enough time to go through to code.org, and then we will start together. But while you guys are going there, I'm just going to quickly let us look at our 4 areas. Remember, we have our play area, our instruction area, our toolbox, and now here we can see all our new tools. Notice that blocks now have a new way to enter numbers. Again, we handled that on our slide. And these blocks, little puzzle blocks, you can take out and put in other numbers inside that puzzle block. Okay, so we still have our move forward by pixels. And remember, pixels are the little squares or dots on a photo or display that makes up the screen or the picture. Okay, so if you zoom in very, 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 very closely on any picture on your computer, you will start seeing these little blocks, and then you'll be able to understand what a pixel is. Each one of those little blocks is a pixel. And if we tell our artist to move, he moves a certain number of pixels. So let me quickly ask a question. I want to see who can remember. I've told you this before. What is the size of our play area on code.org? How many pixels by how many pixels? I've told you guys before. What is the size of our display area in code.org? Let's see. What is the size of our play area on code.org? See Zoe's hand was up first, so I'm going to ask Zoe. Hi Zoe, how are you?
Fine, thanks, and you, sir?
I'm great, thank you. Can you remember the size of our screen of our play area in code.org?
I think it's 100 pixels.
100? No, unfortunately not. But nice try, Zoe. Remember, we're going to give the answer right now, so next time you will know it. Remember, because this line is 50. Now just look how big this square is. So we have to remember what size we are working with, especially if we want to find the middle. So let's see, Taryn, see if Taryn can remember. As Zivan typed it in the chat box. Hi, Taryn, how are you?
Fine, thanks, and you?
Good, thank you. Can you remember how big our play area is in code.org, Taryn?
No, but I'm just guessing. 1,000 pixels by 1,000?
No, not 1,000 by 1,000. I'm going to read what Zivan wrote because, yes, he is right. Our pixels on the play area, just this little white block over here, 400 pixels by 400 pixels. And maybe during the week, I will go through how we move around on our pixels. Because sometimes we will have a block that says over and down. So if we look at the 400, the first 400, that will be from left to right. There will be 400 pixels in one line all the way across. But then there will also be 400 pixels from the top to the bottom. So if we go down 200 pixels, and we go from left to right 200 pixels, then we will be right in the middle. So the middle of our screen will be 200 by 200. But our whole screen is 400 by 400. So nice try, guys. Well done. So let's quickly see our instructions and what they want from us. Let's draw an equilateral triangle. It has to be exactly 50 pixels long on each side. Now remember, we've also dealt with degrees. If you haven't been in one of our classes where we have dealt with degrees, don't worry. We will review that again as well, because degrees can get a little tricky. But here I think they've given us the angle, and that will be the outside angle. Just remember that, because he is going to turn left by 120 degrees. A 90-degree angle would be straight up, for example, a square. And you guys learned that in math as well, that a square has 90-degree angles. But remember, this is further than 90 degrees, so that's going to be 120 degrees left. If he turned right, he would come down. So I'm going to show you what happens. So move forward by 50. And if we see our instructions, that's exactly what they want. Move forward by 50. And remember, you can change this. You can drag that out. And then you can change your value inside your puzzle block to anything you want. But I'm going to keep that 50 because this is the one that they've wanted us to use. I'm going to put in 50. And let me just quickly show you, walking in a direction. If we turned right by 120, he'll be turning down. So let's move forward another 50, just so that you can see. There we go. So remember, if we walk forward, left will be up, right will be down. So if we turn, and even if you did this, remember, don't worry, we just fix our code. You can run it as many times as you want and reset. So now we know our artist needs to turn left and not right. So we will go to our drop-down arrow, we will turn left by 120, and then we'll move forward, and then we'll turn again left by 120 and move forward. So that will create a triangle. The only thing is, what we have to remember here is the direction our artist is facing. So it's a shame that we don't have the step block here so we can go step by step. But what I want to show you guys, and let me make my play area bigger. I want to zoom a little bit so you guys can see better as well. That's a nice size. Let's leave it at that, 110. Okay, so that's a little bit bigger so you guys can follow a little bit better. Okay. Yes, and I see Dante says something about the workspace. Now remember, this is what we can do. We always write our code manually. Okay? We always write our code manually if we don't see a pattern. And as soon as we pick up a pattern, then we can start using our repeat blocks. Okay, so here we can see move forward, turn left, move forward. Whoops, I should just change this again to turn left, otherwise he's going in the wrong direction. And then if we turn left again, our artist will be facing in the same direction, because I want to show you up here quickly. If we walk forward, turn left, we will be facing this way. We walk forward, turn left, we'll be facing this way. So if we turn left again, we'll be facing the same way. We'll be facing the same way as our starting position. Okay, so yes, we can just add another turn left by 120 degrees. Now we can see in our workspace, they only want us to use 7 blocks, but currently we have 13. Now we can make that shorter. If we look at this, if I put them all next to each other, and let me make that smaller again so you can see everything. Look at that. If I put them next to each other, they are all the same. Move forward by 50, turn left by 120. 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So I can put this one side in a repeat block. I'll put that inside. I can throw away all this because that is the same, all the same. And now look at that. I only have 7 blocks in my workspace. Okay, only 7 blocks. I can run my code. And there we go. I've completed my puzzle. And I see, I don't want to replay. I'm going to go to the next stage. Okay, so our next stage is now use another loop to draw 3 of those triangles right next to each other. You can nest the code from the last puzzle inside. Now remember, what is nested loops? Think of the bird's nest. What do you have inside the nest? You have some eggs. So there we go. Miracle said it is a loop in a loop. There we go. It's a loop in a loop. Okay, a loop in a loop. Now guys, remember what they say we should do is we should draw 3 triangles. We can write the same code we just had. So we had a repeat. We had move forward by 50 and we had turn left by 120. That is 1 triangle. Okay, we have to. That is 1 triangle. So if we want to double check, we can run it quickly. There we go. There's our triangle. And we start, or we are back right at the start. So now if we want 3 triangles, we can just repeat our code 3 times. But we have to remember one thing. If we just repeat everything 3 times, then we're just going to draw the same triangle in the same place. Okay? And we also have a question in the chat box. So what happens if you change the animals? The animals down here, guys, the tortoise and the hare, that is just if you want to go very slowly or very fast through your code. Sometimes if we write a very long code, we don't want to run through it slowly because then it takes too long. So then we speed it up a little bit. I'll show you here quickly. If we put it on the tortoise and we reset and we run, you'll see it's very slow. Stop. Nice and slow so you can see exactly what happens. The hare goes so fast, I don't even think if you guys will just see it, you'll just see him start and then stop. Let's run. Look at that, so fast. So it's just to see how, or just to run your code a little bit quicker or a little bit slower. Now I'm going to tell you guys, what is the one thing I have to do here to make this work? Because remember, if I just put this inside 3, so I've got 3 sides to the triangle and 3 triangles. This will just draw the same triangle 3 times. Let's look at it. So there's one thing I have to change first. There's 1 triangle, another triangle. I'm staying on the same spot. Taryn says she's finished. So Taryn, tell everybody, what did you do? There we go, Dante. Put move forward in first loop, guys. So we stop over here, and then we have to move forward and then draw the line, next triangle. Move forward, draw the next triangle. So good job, guys. Taryn, Dante, well done. We will put another move forward inside the first repeat. So we'll repeat that just below that. We'll move forward because remember, we have to finish our triangle first. So that's why we won't put it inside the first loop. We put it outside the first loop because we finish our triangle, then we move forward. And then we're going to do it 3 times. And miracle is also done. So let's reset and let's run it. There we go. Move forward and then second triangle. Move forward and our third triangle. There we go. If we want to add some more triangles, we can. Then we can just repeat. Let's say repeat it 5 times. Everything will stay the same. Just let's repeat it 5 times. I'm going to make it a little faster so our artist can draw nice and fast. And I'm going to run. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get the idea. We can repeat it as many times as we want. Okay. And then we can move on to number 3. Number 3 is just some of the tips I showed you guys in our slide. This is our new variable block, and we will see how we use those variables now. Let's just quickly read again what they say. Variables are placeholders for information that can change. Having a placeholder makes it possible to write a program even when you won't know all of the values until later. So we can just put a value in later. So we can write the program even if we don't know, and then maybe you go and see a client and then they give you all the lengths and the variables. So we can we can draw our triangle, but then we can just, by changing the little value at the end, we can draw different sizes, we can draw different shapes, because you can set certain placeholders in place, which we can just then change later on. Puzzle number 4, that is just a video that will explain to you what I mentioned about age, because every year somebody's age will be different. So the variable there that we will write, or the code that we will write in the variable, is just age plus 1. Every year, somebody's age will only increase by 1 year. So that is a nice video for you to watch, and this lady will explain to you how we use variables. Okay, so puzzle number 5. Yes, puzzle number 5 is just a question. So I want everybody to answer A, B, C, or D. Let's quickly look. We have set the variable length to 50. What will happen if we click run? Now let's quickly look at our code. So 50. Here we have move forward by length. Remember, it doesn't give us pixels now, it moves forward by length. But we set the length to 50 and then turn left by 120. So A, the artist will draw a triangle with 50 pixel sides. B, the artist will draw a 50-sided polygon with 3 pixel sides. Or the artist will draw 3 open sides with 50-degree turns. And I see everybody gives me a big A. And yes, this is the same code as our triangle. We just had a value here, but now we don't have a value, we just have length. And what is length? It goes back to set length to 50. Okay, I hope you guys understand that. So that will always refer back to what we set. And that's the same as what we've done before with colors. We set a color before we do anything. So then our line, every time we draw a line, our line will be that color. Now it will just be that value or that length. So here, let's quickly see what they say. Before things get tricky, can you move the length of 50 into a variable so we can use it in the next few puzzles? Okay. They want us to set the length to 50 in a variable so we can use it for the next couple of puzzles. Okay, so the first thing we do, remember we just have this triangle. We don't have a length. And I see Miracle asks the question, what are the light bulbs for? If you guys are not with me or an older person that can help you, your teacher, then this will help you to get through the puzzles if you get stuck. So we can click on the light bulb and it says, do you want a hint? And then, yes, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. Click on it and then it tells you. The variable length, and here it is, there's our block, will be used in two places in your code. In this side length of the triangle and the amount you move forward between triangles. So they tell you this block will be, and if you still don't know, you'll see there's another hint. Yes, I want another hint. And they say the number block with the value 50 should only be in one place after the set length block. And here we go. Let's do it. There's the set length block, and we'll put that right at the start. And Dante says he doesn't have the 50 block. Go. What you can do, Dante, if you don't have one, take this block inside your turn right block. Let's put it here. Take it out. Oh, it doesn't want me to take it out. You should have the 50. Otherwise, I'm going to post a link for you. Just reopen the link. Maybe there was just a little error on your side. But normally we can just take these blocks on the side. You only have to take the one. You don't have to take everything. But I see now they are connected. So we set the length to 50. And now you can see there's an open spot over here. Okay. Oh, I see what Dante means. He doesn't have the 50 to put inside. Remember what our instructions were? Our instructions were just to, before things get tricky, can you move the length to 50? Yes, set length to 50 variables so we can use it in the next few puzzles. So that's all that they wanted us to do. And you don't put in the 50 over here. Because remember, what do we put in there? We put in length. We put in length. We put in length over there, and we put in length over there. Because then it will refer back. What is length? Length is, and we go back up here, length is 50. I hope that helps, Dante. So that is why we set the length, and then we put in the length block. And this code will refer back to the start where we set the length, and it will read the value from there. Okay. And I see Zoe is done. She's moved on. There we go. Dante said, thank you, sir. He's moved on. There we go, guys. And I'm going to run my code, and then there we go. All the way to the end. Now look at this. What are we going to do here? Let's see. Now, use the length variable to have the artist jump forward and down by length pixel between triangles. Now remember, the jump forward, all that is, it's the same as the move forward, but if we move, we draw a line. We don't want a line in between our triangles. So if we jump, it moves without drawing a line. Now remember what is happening here. They say jump the length. So we know that length is 50. So if we look over here, that is our starting point and our finish point for one triangle. So if we jump ahead 50 and down 50, you'll see these 2 points are in line because that is 50 from where we are. So we jump forward 50 and down 50, forward 50 and down 50. And then every time our triangle would be a little bit lower than the previous one. Okay, and then I see I have a hand up. Let's go to, I think it was Taryn put her hand up. So hi Taryn, are you going to help us with this puzzle, Taryn?
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you?
Fine, thanks, and you?
Good, thank you. So tell me, Taryn, how are we going to solve this?
I'm just going to take out the loop around the inside loops. So I just have the first triangle.
Okay, that's fine. That's the first triangle. But everything is ready. So if let's just run it first. Always let's run the code that they've given us. But before we carry on, and I see Miracle is testing out everything. I like it. If you want to make a comment, Miracle, this is for yourself. So maybe when we start doing more shapes, if you have a code already and you want to remember or just remind yourself what it is, you can put it in anywhere you want, and you can put here, okay, this code, that is for, and you can just write in it, triangle. Or if you make a square, you can make a square. Or if you want to tell yourself something, let's say today you write code and then tomorrow you come back and you are scared you will forget something, you can just type yourself a note, remember to change your code. So you can write anything in there you want, but that doesn't affect your code at all. That is just for you to use. So I'm going to take it out. I'm going to throw it away. I'm going to leave that one in there. Okay, so Taryn said she wants to, let's run it first, Taryn, and see what happens. Here's our code. So this is the code we wrote in the previous, this is the code you wrote in the previous puzzle. Our triangles are next to each other. So all we need to do is we have to move this triangle down to here and this triangle down to here. And what did they tell us to do in the instructions? They said, now use the length variable to have the artist jump forward and down by length pixels between triangles. So what are we going to do? We have to jump, right?
So when you get back to the starting point, you turn right.
Okay. Remember, I'm going to take this one and move forward because we're not going to move forward. I'm going to take this out. Let's run that because now we're going to draw our first triangle and we stop at the starting point, right? We will stop at the starting point. I'm going to do what you said. I'm only going to put in that. I'm going to take out the repeat. Run. There we go. There's our triangle, right? That's what you did. Now we need to get to this point here without drawing a line. So what did they say we should do? Jump.
Forward.
Yes, jump forward by length. And we know how long is the length? What is the length?
50 pixels.
50. There we go. We've set the 50 pixels. And then what do we also have to do? So we have to jump forward by 50 and we have to jump down. There we go. And we have to jump down. Let me just get the... move forward, jump forward.
They don't have down.
I see that they don't have the down. To jump forward and down by length 50.
I think you're supposed to do something before. It's maybe turn right.
Okay, I'm going to check what you say now. Okay, let's do what you say. Turn right.
And then jump forward.
Okay, that's very smart because now you are looking in the direction where you want to jump to. So this is nice. We are doing some problem solving while we are here. So first we can jump forward, then we turn right, and let's say turn, where's my turn? There we go, turn right. But by how much are we going to turn right? Because we're going to come straight down. We're going to come straight down. So by how much are we going to turn right?
Degrees.
Sorry?
90 degrees.
90 degrees. There we go. And then we are going to jump forward again.
Take away the jump forward before the turn right, but you put turn left.
Okay. Okay. What do you want then?
And then we turn left.
Okay. See, this way, look at the one I did. It's going to be one block less because then we're just going to jump forward, turn right, and jump forward. Can you see? It will do the same. Here we're going to turn, jump, turn, jump, but it's going to be the same. Can you see?
Yes.
So then so we'll jump first, then we'll turn, and then we'll jump again. Okay, and then we're going to repeat everything 3 times because we have 3 triangles. Beautiful, well thought out, nice problem solving. Thank you very much, Taryn. Okay, and I'm going to run the code for everybody quickly. Okay. Okay, so let's run Taryn's code. Beautiful. Let's look. Draw, jump. Whoops. Now, I have to turn first because I didn't look in the right direction. So hers, Taryn's also, she turned first and then she was facing the right direction. So I just have to make sure I look in the right direction. So I have to turn again. And then I have to turn left by 90 degrees. So Taryn's also would have worked perfectly because she turned first and then she looked in the right direction. So there we go, guys. We just fix our code quickly by 90. Let's reset and try that again. And there we go. We have our 3 triangles. There we go, guys. Well done. Good job, Taryn. That was very well thought out because we didn't have a jump down. We just had a jump forward. So we just had to make the turn first. Okay. So I am confused. And Zivan said he did it. Okay, guys, just remember all this, the jump forward, turn right, jump forward, turn left. It is our first triangles were in a straight line. So all we had to do is stay on the line and draw our little triangles. But these triangles we have to draw without, we have to jump because if I put here move forward, it will draw a line and we don't want a line. We want our triangles to be separate. We don't want them to touch each other. And that is why we jump. Okay? And the length, because remember length, we've put that currently as a constant, and the constant is 50. So I want to show you guys just quickly, just to explain to Miracle also, why did we move forward, turn right, move forward, turn left? So imagine yourself walking on this line, Taryn. If you want to come down to this point, if you want to draw a line, you have to walk here, turn right, come down, and then if you want to walk this way, because now remember, we are looking down. So if we keep going, we will just keep going down. We have to turn again to walk on this line. Okay, so we have to turn again to walk on this line, and that's where the left comes in. Because we come from the top, we turn left. Okay, so guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in some extra slides. I am going to stop here because I see our time is up already. But tomorrow we will carry on. So tomorrow will be part 2, and we will finish these puzzles. But I am going to, because I see we have so many new students, so maybe for tomorrow, I will also put in our angles and our length or our degrees slides that we done last week, just so we can review that. I know you guys already know this very well, but it never hurts to just go through them again. So guys, I want to thank you for joining us and for spending time with me going through these lessons with you. And I hope you guys have as much fun as I do. Go home, practice, and remember, use your hints. If you get stuck, use your hints so that the little artist will help you out in how to carry on. So I'm going to go back to my slide quickly. Maybe you guys can do that puzzle for me as a homework puzzle, okay? If you can solve it, send it to me to mgeldenes81@gmail.com, and then I'll share it with everybody tomorrow to show, then you can have bragging rights to show, look, I managed to complete that puzzle. So play around with it. See what, every time you change something, this is my one tip before we go. One tip. Only change one thing at a time and run your code. Don't change too many things because then you might not be able to figure out where your code goes wrong. Change one thing, run your code, see if it does what you want it to do, then change something else. Okay, so change one thing at a time. That's the biggest tip I can give you. Change one thing at a time and then try to solve that puzzle number 8. So guys, there's my email address, mgeldenes81, and then I'll see you again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.